Man, what a great playoff basketball game. What a great win by the soon-to-be NBA champion Oklahoma City Thunder. After they lost Game 3 by 42 points at Minnesota, I sat right here and looked right there and told you, I guarantee you they will win Game 4. Because they're just better than the Timberwolves. They're mentally tougher than the Timberwolves. They're clutcher than the Timberwolves. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is just better than Anthony Edwards. Ant-Man, who once again, right on schedule, tonight turned into Can't-Man. This was about Oklahoma City's stars outstarring each of the Timberwolves stars in their house. SGA completely outplayed Can't-Man once again. That's actually the sixth time in 7 games this year. Jalen Williams completely outplayed Julius Randle. And Chet Holmgren just has more impact really on both ends, but combined impact than Rudy Gobert. What a great game by Chet Holmgren. What a great late clutch block he had of Jaden McDaniels. This was all about stars starring. This was all about Oklahoma City's character. They just simply refused to lose in that building. Every time it looked like Minnesota was making a run, they made a big shot, they pulled within a couple, they pulled within one. Either SGA or Jalen Williams or Chet, of all people, said, no, not tonight, not in your house. No, no, no. They did it all the way home. The last time in this game that Minnesota led was with 7:41 in the first quarter. This is their house. 7:41 in the first quarter. They eked ahead 13-11, and that was their last lead of the game. They made it close, and closer all through the third and fourth quarters. But in the end, if you look at the fourth quarter stats, Jalen Williams was a flat-out all-star. This is the first time he's ever made all-star. He's also second-team all-defense. But he was the star of the fourth quarter tonight in Ant-Man's house. Can't-Man couldn't in the fourth quarter. Jalen Williams scored 14 in the fourth quarter alone. For the game, he had 34. Wow. But Jalen Williams made 5 of 7 shots in the fourth quarter. He kept saying no. He had every answer to Minnesota. Jalen. He made 2 of 3 threes. He made both his free throws. 14 points in the fourth, while SGA went for 11 in the fourth, made 2 of 5 shots, but obviously needed to make a bunch of clutch game-holding free throws, and he made 7 of 8 in the fourth quarter. And this was no foul merchant. This was no gimmies. They had to foul him. They had to foul somebody, and he kept getting the ball in his hands, fortunately for me, and made 7 of 8. And then Chet scored 9 in the fourth quarter on 4 of 5 shots, 1 of 2 from 3. He had his toe on the line, or he would have been 2 of 2 from 3. And he did have that great late block. Ant-Man in the fourth quarter had 6 total points. He had no rebounds. He did have 2 assists that became 3-pointers. But he had 2 huge turnovers. Can't-Man, twice Minnesota had huge chances to surge ahead, and both times Can't-Man turned it over in his own end. Sounds like a hockey term, but he turned it over twice. In turnovers tonight, total for the game, it was 21 turnovers for Minnesota to only 14 for the Thunder, and they had their share because Minnesota plays high-level defense. But the Thunder just intimidate you with their hands, just hands everywhere, and their physicality. And poor Julius Randle tonight, what was it in Game 3? I think he and Ant combined to make 21 shots of 30, was it 37 or 39? I can't remember. But it was ridiculous is what it was. And tonight, Julius Randle went 1 of 7 from the floor, scored 5 points. And Ant-Man tonight went 5 of 13 from the floor and 1 of 7 from 3. In the fourth quarter, he went 1 of 4. He did make that 1-3, but he went 1 of 4 from 3. So when you needed your star to star, when the game was there for his taking, he went 1 of 4 from 3 and turned it over twice in the fourth quarter. Those are can't-man numbers if you're telling me he's the next Jordan, he's the next Kobe, he's the next something. He's in every other commercial. I'm sorry, it's just can't, man. Tell me I'm wrong. I dare you, tell me I'm wrong. I've been right about him from the start, and now it's 3-1 Oklahoma City with Game 5 in Oklahoma City on Wednesday night. Close out. It was a hellacious battle. In offensive rebounds, it was 19 apiece. So the two teams are just fighting their asses off for missed shots. Highly impressive. And Minnesota shot it sensationally. They made 18 threes again. They made 20 of 40 the other night when they won by 42. Tonight they made 18 of 41. Close enough. That's 43.9%. But this time the Thunder said, no, we will match you almost. It was 16 of 37 that the Thunder made. That's 43.2%. So they were just 0.7 of a point behind in 3-point percentage. And that saved the night. 128 to 126. So on my FanDuel picks on my show today, if you happen to see it, I guaranteed that Oklahoma City would win the game, but the spread was 3, and I said, well, I'll have the courage of my convictions, and I'll go ahead and say they cover 3. But I also added that I won't be surprised if it's a 2-point game or a 3-point game, which would be a push, obviously. But I said 2 or 3, and it was 2. I knew it would be a close game. I hoped they would cover. They had some late chances to cover, but Minnesota played pretty well because their bench played great. Alexander Walker was just unstoppable. So he scores 23 on 9 of 15 shots and makes 5 threes. Yet 3 guys scored more points than Campman. 3 guys scored more points. This is the series. This is it. This is your house to make it 2-2 going back to Oklahoma City. And he couldn't. And Chris Finch said after the game that in the first half that Ant-Man lagged behind too much, meaning he just didn't hustle up the floor. He exerted himself. He's a little more aggressive in the second half. But baby Jordan, I'm not seeing it. Next Kobe, I'm sorry, I just can't. I don't know about you, but I don't see it. I see the flashes and the moves and the hang time, and I see all that. I just don't see clutch. And he just looked gassed in the fourth quarter. He got gassed last year against Dallas in a couple of fourth quarters. Needed oxygen one night. Had to leave one of the Dallas games last year. They lost in 5. Had to go up the tunnel and get oxygen during a fourth quarter. Can you imagine Michael Jordan ever needing oxygen during a fourth quarter? His opponents often did, but not him. What a gutsy character win for my Oklahoma City Thunder. They had every answer. They had the 3 best players on the floor. They had SGA and J-Dub and 7'1" Chet, who can swoop to the hoop like a ballerina. Can't wait for Ballerina to open pretty soon. I'll be there on opening day. And I'll be there watching my Oklahoma City Thunder win the NBA championship. I said they'd win the West, and when Boston got in trouble with Jalen Brown's injury, I knew he had a torn cartilage. I just said, no, Oklahoma City's going to win it all. They will beat the Pacers or the Knicks, probably the Pacers, in 5 games. They went 29-1 against the Eastern Conference this year. They beat the Pacers twice. They beat the Knicks twice. They lost only at Cleveland. Cleveland's gone. Boston's gone. And soon the winner of the East will go down in 5 games in the finals. I called it, and they backed me up, because that's just who they are. That's just how they play. I was so impressed tonight by my Oklahoma City Thunder, soon to be NBA champions. You heard it here first.